All right.
All right. Hello and welcome to Nightmare Stories of the Other Side. Joining us today, we have Mariah of Crossroads X Paranormal. Based in North Carolina, her team travels all over the United States in search of the paranormal. The group started 2 years ago after getting a lot of attention from their TikToks. They like to have fun on investigation and think that the best way to attract paranormal activity is to just wing it. Welcome in, Mariah. Tell us a little more about yourself.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, you're
I'm so
welcome.
excited. So my name's Mariah. I'm 29 years old and I investigate with my three sisters and my mom. And I mean, you said it, we travel around the US to all the haunted locations and just document what we do. We just have fun. We don't really have any rules or anything like that. We just go in and wing it, and it seems to work out for us.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
definitely a unique approach.
I think so.
I don't know why it's me, but just the doll behind you, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like it's moving.
Oh, she she is a little bit because I'm ADHD and I'm like rocking back and forth.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, we got an extra visitor on the podcast tonight.
Oh, well, she's
I
definitely a star of the show.
I like the dollhouse
Oh, thank
personally.
you. Oh, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, my grandfather gave it to me. He actually bought it for my mom in the 70s, and it he put it up in the attic and never built it. It was still in the box and everything, and he was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Heck yeah." So I took it and set it up, and I just think it's pretty wicked to have in the computer room.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. I actually have another one. I just haven't set it up yet.
I
Okay.
would personally love to live in a dollhouse, but
Oh,
that's just me.
for sure, for sure.
Do you have plans to paint it one day?
Yeah, I want to start probably maybe in the fall when it gets cold again. Whenever I'm stuck in the house because it gets dark at 4 p.m. pretty much. So I need to, it's just so expensive, all the miniature stuff. It gets really pricey. Like it needs roof panels or whatever, little shingles, and you have to get certain paint because the wood's weird. Like you just have to save up, and it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like
I guess I never
investigating and
thought
all the
about
Well,
that.
that's what I was about to say. Sort of like paranormal.
Yep.
It's a very expensive hobby.
Is that a REM pod behind you, that green box, or
So I brought out the good stuff because we have attachments. Sorry, my dogs are running around and hitting my tripod right now. Um, we believe that we have some attachments that we've brought home in the past, and I just like to set her up and see if I'm not the only one here.
nice?
Sometimes she goes off, sometimes she doesn't. So,
Yeah, I was just playing with my broken REM pod, but
oh no.
yeah, that's a back in August, the antenna got snapped off at a location.
Oh no, I hate that.
And I tried fixing it, but it just
He only made it worse.
Oh
yeah,
no.
I tried super gluing the antenna on there, so I think the super glue might did a
That made
little
it.
damage, but it is what it is.
Oh no. Yeah, and they're so expensive, so it's
But luckily
go in there.
it wasn't mine, so
Yeah.
I just now I have it as a item on my desk. So hey,
Mhm.
why not?
Yeah, nice. I, hold on. I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I let my dogs out real quick? I
Yeah,
know
go
we're
ahead.
recording. I'm so sorry. They're
Fine.
being look, like they're literally knocking over my tripod right now. Give me just a second.
All right.
I'm so sorry. Go on.
So anybody getting anything from the dolls?
No.
No.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Matt was wondering while you were away if either of the Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy type dolls that are there are haunted.
Oh, well, actually, not really. I don't think so. I've found these at like antique stores, and just because, I mean, in my opinion, just because you find them at antique stores or Goodwill doesn't necessarily mean that they're haunted. I basically use these as like trigger objects because most of the stuff that we're trying to investigate and talk to, they lived in the same era as the Raggedy Ann dolls. So I don't think they're haunted.
All right.
You look disappointed.
I'm kind of a little. I was kind of hoping for a
Yeah.
little.
No, I mean, I believe that, things can get attached to objects, but I mean, I just found these. I thought they were, I mean, and they're original, they're from the 60s and 70s, but I've never, the spirits like messing with them. She's the star of the show. She's the star of the show. She's been moved a few times at different locations, so spirit seems to like her, so we just bring her on board.
All right. So when you guys first started a couple years ago, what was your first location you went to?
So the very first location we went to was actually Sweet Springs Sanitarium in West Virginia, Gap Mills, West Virginia. And I actually found it by, researching it a little bit, and Project Fear actually went there.
Yep.
And it was the one where they literally went screaming and running out of the place. So I was we have to do that one. And just so happens, like, I Googled it, and it was not even 3 hours from us. And all the other ones that I, researched, they were like 8 to 12 hours away from us. So I was like, well, this one's perfect, and it's pretty decent price, So I decided, to tell all the girls, hey, let's go. Let's, give this a little warm up to start investigating. And it was the most haunted place we've ever been, and it was pretty terrifying.
Nice. It's like it's my bucket list location to go to, but with what's going on there right now, it's just, I know, like,
heartbreaking.
It is.
When I seen that Facebook post, I about cried. I was so upset about it because that is my all-time favorite location ever. I've been there so many times. I actually got proposed there.
Yep, I saw those pictures.
Yeah, I love Sweet Springs, and I hate that they're dealing with this right now. I hope it gets solved really soon.
Yeah, I think it will, because, like, back in November, I was having conversations via Messenger with Cindy, and she said just since the owner passed away, it's kind of in flux with the board and all that, but I think it'll shape up to get something done right by it.
Yeah, hopefully it turns out the way it should be, because I know Ashby, the owner that passed, he didn't want it to be like this. He loved how it was going and how everyone was coming, and they even do weddings there and stuff like that. So it's pretty sad that they're fighting right now. So hopefully they can get it all resolved soon.
Yeah, for sure. So what are, like, some occurrences that you saw when you were there and witnessed?
Oh gosh, pretty much everything. I think that's why we love it so much there. We've seen the shadow figures. We've had poltergeist activity. We've had screaming. We've had running, doors slamming up above us. We've had somebody scream at us, "Get out." It's been crazy. And our last time that we were there, actually, we were down on the first floor, where half of it is an old nursing home, and then the other half is like a old TV place. And we just had knocking, and I'm not talking about like little knocks, where you're like, oh, it might be the building moving or something like that, I mean, these were just boom on something, and we would stop and we'd be like, do it again, and it'd go boom, like it just kept on happening. And it was amazing experience there. It's pretty terrifying there. In the daytime, it's cool, but as soon as it gets dark, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it was a couple months back. I can't remember what the team was, but I had a very vivid dream that I was there investigating with another team.
I remember this.
And it's like, it was quite the experience. I can't remember everything in the dream, but I'm like, I need to go there. I want to do a solo there by myself for like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, that place just calls to you. It really does. It calls to you. That's the only place where I've left there and had nightmares, like of being there alone and something grabbing me, or like I had sleep paralysis. I haven't had that since I was a kid. And after that investigation, I had sleep paralysis episodes. It was crazy. Definitely a cool place to check out.
Yeah, but yeah, when I first saw it on that first Project Fear, I was telling Natalie, I'm like, I need to get there. It's just like,
yeah,
just seeing it on TV is just like, yep.
And it's huge, like thinking about it before we went, I was like, but as soon as you get there, I mean, you get lost, stairways, you can go up one stair and it goes completely over here, or go up here and get lost and you're in a completely different area. It's hard
I like
to,
that.
Oh, I do too. It's really hard to, and that messes with your brain too,
Definitely.
yeah, whenever you're investigating, your mind is your biggest enemy, So
Yep.
when you're getting lost and it's dark, there's no power. There's only power in like the nerve center, But as soon as you walk past that threshold into the building, there's no power, there's no water, there's no nothing. And it's just dead silent, So it's pretty cool.
Nice. So what are some other, great locations you've been to in the last couple of years?
Well, obviously Sweet Springs. We did Post Town recently, and I loved that place. I've always wanted to go to a school. That and the owners, oh, they were so nice. They're really welcoming. Anybody that goes there, they'll put your name on the sign. It makes you feel like you're a big deal, and they're just so excited. And they leave you alone, and you just have the place to yourself. And we actually slept there overnight. We got the lounge or what was like the lodging fee, to sleep there because it was like 12 hours away from us. It's up there in Ohio. Oh man. And soon, like soon as the lights go out, it takes on a different theme. It's wicked cool. Just being, because when you're a kid, you always want to go and break into like a school, and walk around, and it still has the desk there. It has all the lockers, it's got the intercoms and the gym, and it's really neat. The thing about those spirits there though is I think the more people you bring, the more intimidated they feel, so they don't really come out a lot. So, we were all together investigating and we weren't really getting a lot. And then about midnight, 1 a.m., we kind of separated. And once we did that, they became a little bit more comfortable with us and talkative. We were down in the gym. On the other side of the gym, there's a little room called it's called like the pantry or something like that, or the cold room or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's just a little bricked off room behind the gym. And we went in there, and my two sisters were asleep upstairs, and we were talking about it to ourselves. Me and Michaela and my mom were like, oh yeah, they're asleep, so let's just go down here and figure out what we're going to do. We'll do some EVPs or whatever. Well, we go sit down in this room and we actually hear somebody walking towards us real quietly, and we just all get quiet. And this is on our YouTube video. As soon as we get quiet, we get an EVP whenever I do a live playback, and he's like, why aren't y'all asleep? Just clear as day. Why aren't y'all asleep?
Oh,
So
wow.
he was very intelligent. Like he knew like what was going on. So obviously he was following us around the whole time. It was real awesome. And then after that, we went upstairs into the nurse's room where she would, help kids or whatever that got hurt or whatever, And the tour guide, her name was, I think it was Beverly or Bets. I don't remember her name, but she was telling us on the tour while she was giving us a walkthrough that to braid our hair, because all of us have real long hair, and she was like, one of y'all need to braid your hair and go sit in the nurse's wing. And she loves braided hair for some reason, so we're like, okay. So Maddie braids her hair and we go sit down in there, and it's getting kind of late. It's probably about 4 a.m. at this time, and Maddie is just tired. She's beat, she's not used to being up this late, and she's got her head down like this. And you can still see her braid because we have the night vision camera on, and her braid just goes whoop, and she wakes up real quick, and she was like, oh my God, something just touched my braid. But like soon as that happened, our camera malfunctioned and shut off at the end of the hallway. So we were too invested in the camera, and we kept hearing whistling as well. So we weren't even paying attention to her. And then once we went back and looked at it while we were editing, I was like, oh my God, Maddie, like you weren't lying. Like your braid did move. So we posted that too. And that was really awesome. We had a really good time there.
Nice. What I can't remember what the spirit's name is that's in the basement. Do you recall?
Oh no. If you wouldn't have asked me, I would have known. I don't remember. I can get back to you on that though. I think his name's like Henry or something like that.
Because like I heard from somebody that whoever the spirit is in the basement is really more susceptible to women.
Yes.
So like I was thinking, like I was telling Natalie, I think when we're there, probably stick her and Anna in the basement for a little bit and see what happens.
Wait, you said Katie too.
Oh,
and then you
Katie?
change your answer every time.
Okay, well I don't remember.
First you said all of us, and you said, and then you took Carrie out of it, and now you're taking Katie out of it too. What did me and do?
Well, I love basements. You know this.
Yeah. Okay, but why us?
At Jericho, I was like, no, give me the basement.
You know why you two? Because you two are the youngest.
Oh, thanks. You're the oldest.
Just to make you feel better, he's really sweet.
No, I think Chad's the oldest.
No, you're old.
I feel the love from upstairs.
You're like in your 80s or something like that. I don't even know.
Not that old.
Yeah, you are. Stop lying.
Mm-hmm. We're all getting old.
I know where you live.
Natalie's like a little sibling to me, so.
Oh. Well,
which
if it makes you feel any
so.
better, the spirit down in the basement, he's really nice. And that, when you go into places like that, like you got to remember, like your mind is your biggest enemy, and you're going to think of like the most disturbing things imaginable in the pitch black. But if you kind of single it out and rationalize it, and it's like, okay, it's just a soul, it's just a person with no body, it makes you feel a whole lot better.
Right.
What has been in maybe like the past few years, what has been the scariest location?
So the scariest location would probably be hands down Sweet Springs, and that was because that was the very first shadow figure that I've ever seen, and he wanted me to see him. And the whole thing about those spirits there is they like to be left alone, for one thing. They don't really want to be bothered. They get really annoyed with you real easily, and they just want you out. The whole time that you're there, they just want to push you out. So what they try to do is they pick like the top, like the most intimidating person of the group that you're in and try to tear them down. And they know once if they tear them down, everybody else is just going to want to get out of there. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was personally picking on me all night. And whenever we were on the third floor past the nurses' wing, we were all sitting there, and it was just the four of us. And I looked down we're walking past the threshold, actually, and I have my phone to where I can see through the phone behind me, and I literally seen him come out of a bedroom and dart behind me and then turn around and grab the top of the door and just lift himself up and crawl on the ceiling. And I mean, it was just really like distorted and disfigured looking. And after we were done and left there, I talked to a medium that one of the only mediums that I really believe in and trust. And she was like, yeah, there's no question about it. He was trying to scare you out of there, and it worked. So he was going to look scary. He was probably about 8 foot tall. He looked just like Slenderman. It was terrifying. And his arms were like all the way past his knees. And in one picture that I got of him, that I posted everywhere. He looks like he has horns. And the medium that I talked to said, no, he's not anything. He's not demonic or anything like that. He knew that whenever you were looking at him, he did his hands like this to make himself look like he had horns to scare you. And it worked because we were out of there. So that's the most terrifying place. And I think probably most terrifying, it would be Sweet Springs. I'm trying to think of another really, really good one.
I guess scary wasn't the word I was looking for, because that just, for some reason, to me gives like a bad connotation. I guess I meant more intense.
No. I totally get what you mean. Probably Sweet Springs. Madison was pretty cool. It wasn't really terrifying or too scary. We were sitting down in the hallway and got some really loud sound like high heels just popping on the floor, and that was really creepy, because it's like, oh my god, like somebody's coming and there's nobody there, so you're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, so there's two theories that usually go along with shadow people. There's that it's an interdimensional being theory, and then there's that it's a human and that's the way they're able to manifest. Mm-hmm. So which do you think is there at Sweet Springs on that spectrum?
Two things. And this goes, I had one person tell me that they believe that the thing with Sweet Springs is it was built off of slave labor. And before that, white men came and massacred all the Native Americans to have that land. So somebody told me that it could have been something that either the slaves conjured up to protect them or the Native Americans conjured up to protect them. So it was almost like an entity, not demonic or anything like that. If anything, it's just an entity protecting that land and protecting that space and them souls that are there, which I can kind of see that theory only because when we were there one time, I think it was the last time we were there, we got on our static cam footage Native American drum circle music at about 4 a.m, and it was pretty gnarly. Obviously it was residual. We didn't hear it. So it could be that theory. Another theory that I've, go a little bit more on and believe a little bit more is it could be just a really, really angry guy that has a lot of hate and despises people coming in and out of there. He's really protective of that place and just wants to be left alone. So he's going to look and do whatever he can to get you out of there to keep his peace.
So does he have like his own territory where the other spirits avoid him, or is there evidence that he interacts with the other spirits there?
I think he's more in control. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, he stays up on the 3rd floor. I don't think that's true at all. Especially the first time we were there, he followed us around everywhere. Whenever I was down in the basement and we were leaving to go upstairs, he actually tapped me on my shoulder. And I was so terrified. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so terrified. I didn't even look back. I was like, just go, just get out of here. And whenever I came up, I had a handprint on my arm where he grabbed me. And I mean, he would not stop tormenting us. So I think he's just in control. He's the top dog there and he can go wherever he wants. I think he likes to stay mostly though in like the slaves quarter area down in the basement or top of the 3rd floor for some reason. He loves it up there.
So what other locations can you elaborate on besides Sweet Springs and Post Town that you guys have been to?
So we went to Fairfield. I loved it. It was really fun. We didn't have that much activity that happened, but just like any other location, you can, go to one and have a crazy experience, and then somebody can come in the next day and not have anything happen, you know? But like we got a little bit of talking on the spirit box and stuff like that. And that's where Michaela, my sister, she was sitting in the doctor's, it was like the doctor's room where he would do autopsies on bodies and stuff like that. And she was, the way that she was sitting, she could see down the hallway and up these stairs, like this big staircase. And she seen a residual, just like a black, brownish, like mist just dart down the staircase. But other than that, like we didn't really get a lot there, but it was still really cool experience to see and be. Oh, and whenever we first got there, and what was weird is this, our team, according to the tour guide that we had, our team was the only team that this happened to. We get there, and of course, you know, whenever you rent these places out, some places have codes where you got to put in a code so the alarms don't go off. So they tell us the code, and as soon as the tour guide left or whatever, we go down there, we put in the code, do exactly what she said. About an hour goes by, we're setting up static cameras, and the alarms just start going off. And it's so loud. It was crazy. And we called the tour guide, and she was like, there's no way, you know, like that never really happens, you know. Somebody had to have triggered it or hit a button or something, and we weren't around it or anything. It was pretty cool. Madison was pretty cool. I think, I forgot Old Hospital on College Hill. That was a really neat place. I love hospitals. They were really talkative there. They loved the spirit box. They were more residual, though. Not many of them wanted to talk to us, and I don't think there was a lot of intelligent there. Or maybe there was. We just didn't capture it. But on the spirit box, we got like 911, help me, I've been injured, I need a doctor, you know. So that place was really cool too. And they have a body cooler that you can actually climb into. Natalie. That's really cool, you know. And I got to climb in there and shut it and lay in there for a little bit, and that was really creepy. Especially since like I knew that they were all upstairs because the nerve center there is on the second floor. And the body cooler, when we were there, at least, it was down on the first floor and almost like the basement area. So when I was in there, they closed it up and they left, and I caught on camera, just, it sounded like somebody walking around it, like trying to check it out, seeing what was going on, what we were doing, you know. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, like I'm hoping for like next year, planning haunted hospital road trip.
That would be awesome.
So like, you know, do Old South Pittsburgh, Harriman, and then the hospital in College Hill.
Yes, I love hospitals. And I've been wanting to go to, well, you know, we were just talking about it. I've been wanting to go to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Harriman. So since they're kind of close, I've been excited. Maybe this year we'll go.
Yeah, I went back in August. I went to a hospital in Iowa, but didn't really get much of anything. It's like, It was like on one side, it was a newer side. It was like art studio, hair salons and all that. Then you got the hospital on the one side, but it's like on a major highway. So,
yeah.
10 was semis going by, and then like,
yeah, that was the only thing about Post Town, and also Old Hospital as well. They are dead center in town. So till about midnight, you are getting traffic. At Post Town, there's a Dollar General right next door. And then beside that Dollar General, there's a hotel or like a motel area and a truck stop. And you'll hear talking. Like a couple of our stuff we had to cut out because it was talking loud and it was people across the street, you know, trucks flying by. That's one bad thing about locations sometimes is if they're near real busy areas, you're going to get a lot of noise. Till about 1 a.m., midnight, 1 a.m., it starts to calm down.
But yeah, this hospital we're at, like the 5th floor, you couldn't even do anything on that because it's basically open ceiling, water. You walk on the floors, you thought you're going to fall through.
Oh, no. Yeah, and those are the worst.
I think it was the 2nd floor. There was a couple bats in there, and you couldn't really navigate there without the bats. So it's like, we got there and started investigating like at 8 o'clock. And I think by 10 o'clock, we just like, forget it, we're done. It's like.
Yes. Speaking of bats, that's how it was at Trades Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. We actually didn't get anything really there at all either. It was a pretty quiet night for us, but we did have a lot of bats and they were attacking our heads. They did not like the lights.
But yeah, that was like when we were at Waverly last August. Like Natalie and the group
July.
or July, whenever it was, July, same thing. So like Natalie,
I had two fly right in my face. Like I saw them and everything. It was
so, they like dive bomb you.
Well, so they were like down behind me, and I think we're on this third floor, and we heard noise in front of us. So like I'm walking down there with just some Phasm cam, can't see anything. Going back and watching the video, there was like swooping over my head right next to my face. I didn't even know it.
Well, that's how we were too at first there. Like we were night vision mode for a while, and you just hear something go whoof, and you're like, what is that? And then you hear whoof, and then you cut the lights on and there's bats, and we just panic. It was so funny.
But yeah, so we're excited to get back to Waverly in June to like, we were there for a junior investigation, so there was like 40, 50 other people there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like we didn't hardly get anything. People interrupting us left and right. So it's like,
yeah. That's one thing we don't like collab. Well, a lot of people ask us like, why don't you collab with people? And I don't, like I tell people, don't take it personal or anything. It's just, these locations are so expensive, and it takes a lot of time. You buy these locations, they're not cheap. Some of them are thousands, $1,500, $1,200. I've never been to one that was under $400, so you got to take that. Then you have to worry about travel, how you're going to get there, the gas, and the time. A lot of people have to take time off of work and stuff. And then, like sorry, my dogs are acting crazy. And then, the gas to get there. And then once you get there, if you have, if you're collabing with other teams, it's just going to be a big hangout, and that's not what I want. Like we can hang out, we can party some other time,
And definitely with, mentioning the expense, but also you had mentioned earlier how I forget what location, but when you split up into smaller groups, got more active, so that if you're collabing with another team, that's more people, so could have less of a chance of activity or spirits that are comfortable.
For sure.
Interacting.
For sure. Yeah. And that's another thing. And yeah, like if you have 10 to 12 people in there, you're going to get spirits that are really intimidated. You got to think, whenever you first meet somebody, are you going to walk up to a big crowd of 12 to 15 people and try to talk? No, especially, somebody like me, that's anxiety, like you would feel more comfortable walking up to two or three people than a whole group of people. So you got to take that into consideration as well. So it's, it's nothing personal. We just take too much time and money and energy to do this. And, like if you want to hang out, we can hang out some other time, go out to eat or whatever. Like whenever we want to investigate, we want to investigate, it's no time to hang out.
Yeah. But yeah, like this year when we go to our locations, we are collabing with other teams, but I'm like formulating a plan ahead. So like, this is what we're going to be doing, and we're not going to be all together. We're going to kind of, split up, so we're not like just hanging out the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. And like, we have collabed twice, and the people that we did collab with, they only had like 3 other people. So it was technically like 8 people instead of like almost 15 to 20 people. So, and we went to bigger locations. Like that's okay. Like, like say for instance, you said Waverly, that place is huge. Yeah. So if you go with another group, somebody could go upstairs, one team can go upstairs and another team could go down to the basement and you're fine, Yeah,
because like when we go there,
kitty,
there's like my cat?
Yeah, your cat just jumped down.
Oh, Well, like, so when we go to Waverly, you know, in our team, there's 8 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have like, you know, we're going to probably have 13 altogether. But then that way it's like, we're going to split off in twos. And then there's always going to be one person that's going to be alone the whole night.
Yeah.
So,
oh, no.
So
I don't like solos.
We'll kind of rotate that out for like, you know, somebody's going to be by themselves for like a good hour in that place. I'm not for sure where yet, but.
Oh, no, thank you. I do not like solos.
Obviously, the only 2 people in the group that won't be going alone are Natalie and Chad's daughter, Macy, just because, you know, they're younger. So we're not going to stick them by themselves in Waverly.
No. Especially not Waverly. Oh, no.
And Natalie could handle herself, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. She looks awesome. You'll do good.
Let's see. What else? So for equipment-wise, like, what do you guys all use for equipment? And it's like, what's your favorite piece of equipment?
So my favorite piece of equipment is obviously our Raggedy Ann. She's actually a REM pod. One of my really good friends, Aatrox Paranormal in Arizona, he built her for me. And you got to touch her tummy for her to light up, and she's got a little nose that lights up red and pretty. We also like our EVP, and our Spirit Box, and REM pod, you know, our regular REM pod, obviously. I do like the laser grid too. That's pretty cool. We don't usually get into real big technology, you know, like I like where technology is going with the paranormal, but I don't think it's quite there yet. I don't really, you know, like the SLS camera only because I had the Kinect for the Xbox whenever I was a kid. And, you know, I would cut it on with my sister and it would register like humanoid shapes with the couch or something, you know? So it's like, you know, like most of the technology, like it just needs a little bit more time. So, and I don't like, you know, this is just my opinion, you know, in our group, we don't use like any phone apps or anything like that because I just believe that they have like a set algorithm that they can use. And most of these apps, like it's like, oh, you can buy this and have a package where you get more words or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, that itself just should debunk it there, you know?
Yeah.
So we try to stick to as basic as possible, and it works.
Yeah. Well, like for me, I think my favorite piece of equipment I have is my Phasm camera. When it works.
Oh, gotcha.
So I've like had issues with it on and off, and like right now, it like doesn't work. I didn't get to bring it on our last investigation. It's like stuck in some setting. It only works when it's hooked up to your computer.
Oh no!
Otherwise it won't turn on. So I have to like try to monkey around with that and try to fix it. It's like a little annoying.
Yeah, and see, like most places that we go, like you don't even have signal. So you know, like most of the stuff that needs to be hooked up to Wi-Fi or something like that, we just don't deal with it. It's too much of a hassle to deal with. You know, like with our stuff, you just put a battery in it and you're good to go. And then when it dies, put another battery in it. You're good to go.
Yeah. So if you had, I always like to ask this question too. Like if you could pick any one location to go do that you haven't been, what would it be and why?
No money or anything like that. I could just go and do it. It'd probably be the Hellfire Caves in like Ireland. I think it's like Ireland.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see that and do that. So it would, and probably maybe like Alcatraz or something.
No, that would be a good one.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've been to Alcatraz, but I've been to Alcatraz, but I did the tour. You can't go and do an investigation there. I think like the real like big, you know, ghost hunters can do it. But I think I looked it up one time and you have to rent like your own helicopter. You got to rent your own boat for safety. and I think it's like $10,000 to investigate Alcatraz for one night.
Okay, maybe if I win the Powerball, yes, but otherwise, no.
That's insane. And that's another thing. Like, some of these locations, like, they need to chill. Like, that's insane.
Well, speaking of insane, I'm not gonna drop any names. Natalie will know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I already know who you're talking about.
But there is a paranormal conference or something in September in northern Wisconsin, and they were
you're not talking about who I'm thinking.
They were trying to get a guest speaker there.
Okay, I do know who you're talking about. I was thinking about something else. This guest speaker
said in order to get him there, it would cost him $60,000.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm just like, do you really need that much money for one day? It's like,
no,
that's ridiculous.
That's insane. It's like, but I can see it coming from that individual.
A lot of people in this field, they let it get to their heads, and everybody thinks that. The thing about the paranormal field is everybody wants to be the top dog and the next Zach Bagans or the next Project
I do not
Bear.
wish to be Zach Bagans at all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry.
Or the next, like,
the last person I want to be like.
Agreed. But, most people, they want to be like the top dog, they want to be the next Sam and Colby or something,
Yeah.
And it's just, you're not, because we already have Sam and Colby. We already have Project Bear. We already have that, Can't we just get along? Like, it doesn't matter, like, the followers or what, all this hoopla.
I'm doing this for fun.
Exactly.
It's like, I Project Fear, they're my favorite. And it's like, I watch them all the time, and I get, like, crazy ideas thanks to Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, but again, it's like, I don't want to be exactly like them, but I get my ideas from them and, locations. But it's like, I'm here to experience the paranormal and, like, collect the history on the buildings and the community. I'm not there to, like, get famous. I'm here because I have a passion for this and I want to have fun doing it.
Exactly. And, most of them people too, it's all about luck, like they were just at the right place at the right time or did something and, and just made it big, and it's just, it's far-fetched for, just go have fun, instead of the drama and who's better than this or whose Paracon is this or whatever. Just, if you're, and I've always told my sisters, the day we stop having fun with it is the day we're going to stop.
Yep.
Because that's why we do it. We go and we have fun and we act crazy and we do what we want to do and it works for us and whatever,
It's like, for me, it's like, I want to see a full-blown apparition. I want to see a shadow figure. It's like, I want to witness that. I'm like, what would I really do? Would I run or would I, like, go towards it?
Yeah. I almost pooped my pants, so everyone's different, like you have this fight or flight mode. And when I seen that shadow figure, my whole thing was I just completely froze and all the color left my face and I felt like I was going to throw up if I didn't get out of there. I was terrified.
Like, last summer, I'm pretty sure we were at, Natalie and I, then our other team member, Chad, and his daughter, Macy, were at a poor farm. And like 90% certain I saw a shadow figure of a kid walk in front of a window. But then again, not 100%. Oh, what is wrong with your volume, your sound? You
sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, there's like a gargling noise.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Even when you're not talking.
Oh, I know what that is.
Is it your bluey?
Is it gone?
What?
Is it gone?
No, it's not gone.
No, it's worse now.
Okay, then I don't know what it is. I thought I fixed it.
It's your TV, maybe?
Off again.
No.
No.
No, anyways, when we were at that poor farm, I don't remember. I feel like it was still when we still had daylight. What?
You might have to come down here.
It is killing my ears.
So bad.
Really bad.
Why don't you come down here?
Okay, 1 second.
Okay. All right, she's gonna come join us down here in my office because I don't know what's going on up there.
No, you're fine. It sounded like she was underwater, like robots.
Right? So yeah, she'll finish. She'll be down in like.
No, you're fine.
I hear her coming down the stairs. Okay.
I'm a ghost.
You're...
Oh my god, it's hot in here.
Here, you can have.
Where's your chair?
You can have this chair.
Where's the other one?
I got it right here. Oh, you like my sweatshirt? You like my sweatshirt I'm wearing?
I was about to say, I love it. You're representing tonight.
Yes, I am.
Heck yeah. How do you like it? You're the first person that bought a hoodie. Is it nice? Like, do you like the style of it? Is it good? You like it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because see, we order from Vistaprint. Like, I don't make any money off of it at all. I just make people pay enough for the shipping. And I love it. I think Vistaprint is the safest way to go. Because if something's messed up, talk to Vistaprint. Yeah, like they did it. Deal with it.
Yeah, for like our team sweatshirts, Chad, he has his boss's wife. She does that stuff. So he's got like an inside person that does it. So
oh, nice. Yeah. See, I wish.
Okay, back to your Redwood story.
Anyways, when we were at Redwood, I think it was either at the beginning of the night or we were having like a flashlight conversation, because I remember we were having the flashlight conversation in the same place where I saw it. But anyway, so I was walking into the hallway where my dad was filming down the hallway, and as I was turning, like I was facing the way he was filming when I was walking into the hallway, and I swear I saw like a full black shadow walk into a room.
Oh wow.
And it's like I could see it move and everything. So I went down there, I looked, and there was nothing down there.
Wow.
It was really
weird. See, I love, you have a good night when you see something like that, because it's hard to catch stuff, especially with your naked eye,
Right.
So it's a good place whenever you see stuff.
Yeah, and that was my first investigation too.
Oh, even better. So that just made you up it, like you're ready. Nice. See, and that's why I think our first being the best, it was after we went to other locations, we were almost kind of disappointed, because we were like, oh, this is our first location, it's gonna be like this every time. And then no, it's not like that every time. It rarely happens.
So even my first
investigation with Jericho.
Yeah.
It's like my first investigation last March. It's all I brought was my camera with, and the team I was with, they had equipment, but it's I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Yeah. And it wasn't a super active night, but then again, it wasn't quiet. Within 5 minutes.
Sorry, I just had the hiccups.
We heard kids running and laughing down the hallway.
Oh, that's gnarly.
But yeah, we were done by 2 a.m. just because it's bone chilling cold in the middle of Iowa. But again, it was it got me hooked, where I was when am I going to get to do this again?
Oh, it's very addicting. Very addicting. Every time we go somewhere, it's all right, where to now? Where next? Right. Let's get the money up. Where can we go now? So
it's we don't have our next investigation until the end of March, which is seems beginning of March. Well, okay, well that one doesn't really team investigation, which seems like an eternity away.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. See, we can't do anything till March either, so I'm oh, sucks.
Yeah, our first one is in South Dakota at the Walnut House.
Oh, cool.
It's a new location that just popped up, so.
Oh, nice. See, we haven't been, I've been that far. I've been to Arizona and investigated, and I haven't really investigated anywhere in California yet, but I've been to Preston Castle and the Winchester Mystery House.
I just said that.
Oh, yes, I've been there. It's really cool.
I want to go there so bad.
You need
I would love to go there.
You need to. It's worth it. Worth every penny. But yeah, I went there. I went to Alcatraz. I went to Virginia City, Vulture Mine, where the biggest mine accident happened and killed a bunch of people. but I've never like did like a overnight investigation in California yet. But like in Arizona, like we went to the Gila County Jail. That was really cool. We got some really good stuff. I went there and collabed with a buddy of mine. And where else did I go? The Elk Lodge out there. And then actually we went out there and he got buddy with one of the owners and of the Elk Lodge, and they were like, "Hey, we have another location that we literally just finished remodeling. If y'all want to do it, nobody's ever been in there before." And we were like, "Heck yeah, sign us up. Let's do this." So we got to investigate. It was like a bar area / church, which is weird. Yeah, it was real interesting. Whatever. But it was awesome. So awesome. We got so much activity there. But other than that, like, yeah, I haven't really been out west a lot. So we've been going up. For some reason, every location I've picked and have been interested in has been in Ohio. I don't know what it is, but every single location I've jotted down that I want to do this year, half of them, 8 out of 10 of them, is in Ohio. So I guess we're just going to be living in Ohio for a while.
But yeah, it's like when we're doing Post Town, it's like the date we're going to be out there. I'm like, wait a minute, Fairfield has their con 2 days later. It's only like 2 hours away. I'm like, nice. Do you want to add a couple days and go? So now we're going to be vendors there. So it's kind of like,
heck yeah,
it just kind of happened.
Yeah. And see, like, I think it's the same weekend as the Pennhurst Paracon, which we love that one. So we're going to Pennhurst Paracon this year. But 2 nights before that, we actually won a free investigation with the new Doss House that opened up in Pennsylvania. So that's really exciting. So I told them that we would go and, drive up there and do that. And then a day or a night later, we'll get up and go to Paracon and vendor Paracon. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, one of our team members, Carrie, she's going out to Pennhurst for the Paracon. So I'll have her look you guys up when.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have a tent and everything. We went last year for the first time and we loved it. We met so many new people and we actually collabed with somebody that we met there. It was really fun. We went to Trans-Allegheny with them. It's so much fun. And like the paranormal field is really not that bad. Like you're gonna, everybody's gonna come across some type of, confrontation or drama or something like that. We're all human, like everybody gets mad, everybody gets upset about something, everybody's different. So of course you're gonna have a little bit of drama, but other than that, like we've never really had any really bad experiences with the paranormal field, other than like some creepy dudes, because we're all chicks, so we get some weird messages. So
I don't doubt it. Unfortunately,
on the Saturday of the Pennhurst Paracon, I actually set up a podcast interview. There's a team that's coming down from, I think it's Connecticut. Going to connect with them around 7:30 that night and going to do a podcast where they're outside with the buildings in the background, and they're going to even take, go inside the building, kind of show around and stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love the Paracons because you can meet everybody, and like the bigger groups come, like Project Fear, like we met them after talking to them online for a while. Like we finally got to meet them in person. That was really cool. We got to meet Jason Hawes, which he is like my idol in the ghost hunting field.
I just saw a post on Facebook that there's this paranormal convention in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, middle of April. He's going to be there as a guest speaker.
Yeah, he was really cool. Like when I met him, he was real quiet though, but like real stern, like he just seems like a real macho man, and he's just like, whatever. But he was really nice though. I mean, but my favorite out of meeting all of them, like it felt like Dakota and them were kind of just overwhelmed. They were like, all right, like, nice to meet y'all next, picture next, which, I mean, I have no idea how, it could be in famous or whatever, like, I'm pretty sure they're over it by now, and I don't blame them. But,
right before we went to our Waverly trip in July, we actually got to meet Chelsea. She lives down in Red Wing, which is my hometown.
Oh, cool.
She owns a Provision down there. She's actually my eye doctor.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
We got to meet her right before we went, and like,
that's
mom
so
works
cool.
at the only grocery store in town. So like Chelsea and her husband go in there shopping all the time. So
that's awesome. Oh, cool. Well, see, out of everybody that I've met so far, the nicest one that just acted like they were your best friend that you haven't seen in a while was Tango from Ghost Hunters.
Okay.
And he was, oh my gosh, he was awesome. He was so sweet. Like I said, he just acted like he was your best friend. And he was like, whoa, hi, and a lot of people would give him their, paranormal t-shirts and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, oh, thank you so much. And giving hugs and stuff. He was really sweet. So Paracons are really fun. Like, I enjoyed them. So y'all are going to have fun.
Back last June at the Mall of America, Natalie and her best friend got to meet Sam and Colby because I had a meet and greet. And
lucky.
This was before like we had our team, because we've only been a team since like mid-October.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like, I don't know if you're familiar with Grey Duck Paranormal.
Yes. So, yeah, we follow each other.
Yeah, so Grady's my best friend and Natalie's godfather.
Oh, okay.
So I had a Grey Duck business card with me, and I gave it to Sam or Colby. I can't remember which one.
I gave it to Sam.
So I don't know if they ever checked out Grey Duck's YouTube page.
No, it was a sticker with their socials on the back.
Oh yeah, but I gave them some like, hey, check them out.
Oh, that's awesome. Who did you like more, Sam or Colby?
Don't ask me that question.
You got to pick.
No.
You got to pick Desert Island, Sam or Colby. Which one?
I'd go Sam. I think Colby is a little on the obnoxious side.
Honestly, I would go Sam because I know my best friend would pick Colby.
Oh, okay. See, I would pick Colby.
I mean, if they see this, it would be a miracle. So your answers are safe here.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to do a collab with I should say, we're not going to exclude Connor. If you had to do a collab with the 5 from Project Fear, who would it be?
Oh, just one of them?
Just one of them.
Just one of them?
See, I would pick all of them for different reasons, though. Because I have, like, reasons for all of them. So.
Yeah. Well, obviously, probably, since we're all girl group, probably Chelsea, but probably Dakota.
See, I would want to do Dakota, but if he comes up with some crazy idea.
Oh, yeah, that'd be scary.
I would definitely go Dakota because I get some pretty crazy ideas. Ask her.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, Dakota's really cool.
See, I'm odd woman out. I've never seen Project Fear.
Really? Oh, you need to. See, we follow each other on TikTok, and how I met them was I downloaded. One of my friends was like, oh, it was during COVID time, and she was like, you need to get on TikTok, give you something to do, because I work from home. Like, I own my own business that I work with, and sometimes I'm here, and then sometimes I have to go to the office or whatever. But excuse me. But she was like, instead of just being locked down, not doing nothing, download TikTok. So I was like, okay. Well, as soon as I downloaded TikTok, that was when Project Fear this was before Project Fear. That's when Destination Fear was getting canceled, and they were having drama with Zach Bagans. So I started, my first TikTok was talking about that drama with Dakota and Zach because, I've always loved the paranormal. So it was a shocker to me that they were breaking up and, going their separate ways. Because Destination Fear was like the top show, So
yeah, that I remember the whole drama with that.
Yeah, so I started talking about it on TikTok, and Dakota actually DM'd me and reached out to me and was like, hey, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And he told me everything that happened and, just giving me the right stuff to talk about and what he could or couldn't really talk about. Because my TikTok was getting a lot of views because everybody wanted to know what was going on. So I actually had him follow me, and then Project Fear followed, and they've been commenting and talking to us on the Crossroad page ever since. And then Holly Madison followed me after all that, which was crazy because that was like Zach Bagan's girlfriend at the time. So I had to like chime it down a little bit of how I was talking about Zach Bagans because I was scared of like, getting sued for defamation or something like that. So I had to reel it in a little bit on how bad I was talking about Zach Bagans. So, but ever since then, like, yeah, we've had a really good relationship on TikTok, and we finally met each other in the Pennhurst Paracon last year. So that was really cool.
Well, I have off tomorrow, so I'll dedicate tomorrow to looking up Project Fear.
Yes, please.
Don't talk to me until you watch all the videos.
But yeah, it's like for me, it's like, going back to Peer Unity, it's like I'm surprised, like, for reaching out to people, like securing guests for these podcasts has taken off. It's just like everybody's like willing to talk. I have not had one person say no. So, like, just like a couple hours ago, this isn't going to be until I think it's March or April sometime, but I actually got a guest that used to work at the Conjuring House that we're going to be talking to.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
But, she said specifically one of the things we can't talk about is the drama that's going on, which I totally get, but it's just going to be nice.
Crazy.
That, having people that have been at other locations and work there.
Yeah, the paranormal field is just awesome. Like I haven't really had any really bad run-ins with anybody.
Yeah, so that one's like on March 28th, but it's like I've gotten so many good guests lined up. It's like I don't know which one's gonna they're just gonna keep getting better as we go along.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like everybody, like you said, like everybody's so sweet. Everybody's pretty much down to earth. Like, of course, like you'll get the random ones where you're like, oh my God, like this is bad. But other than that, like we've never really had an issue. So you should be good.
Yeah. Like I was just told today, like, a certain individual has had problems with another paranormal investigator. And she goes, just stay away from this guy and his team. Yep. You'll be fine. So it's like, it's nice to get the warnings about like, who to not reach out to.
Yeah.
Because obviously there are the bad eggs out there.
Oh, for sure. Like we befriended a couple people, and this one, like, background checks, please. Like that's what I try to press on people. Like if you're going to go hang out with certain groups and stuff, at least do some type of Google search or a background check if you can. Because the only really bad thing we've ever had was I befriended a guy on TikTok that was real into the paranormal. And then come to find out, like one of our buddies did a deep dive on him, and he was on like Crime Network.
Oh, geez.
Like he's like looking at prison time for hurting people. That's all I'm going to go, but yeah. So hurting women specifically. So just, definitely be careful. Definitely be careful.
It's like when I'm like looking through people, it's like, making sure it's like, I'll look through their Facebook page and make sure, mutual friends, and then kind of look through the comments and see what other people are saying. And if people I've talked to comment a lot on this person, I'm like, okay, well, they got to be kind of legit then if like, this person I've talked to is like commenting on everything they do. So.
Yeah. Especially like, that was one thing, since we're all girls, that you have to be careful about is you don't really know anyone's intentions. And a lot of people, like, you're going to these places and they're abandoned and dark, and most of the places don't have power. And most locations we've been to, the owner's been there and they're like, hi, bye, and then they leave. And then most of the time you have to lock up. So you're alone in these places. You need to watch out and be careful who you're alone with, basically.
Exactly.
And that's why that was another big reason why we're kind of weird about who we collab with. Like, we try to collab with people that have other females with them, just anything like that, always safety first, always.
Oh, definitely. I don't know. Does anybody else have any more questions? I don't think I have anything before we decide to call it.
I had so much fun. Thank you guys so much.
Fun.
And thank you for letting me do tonight.
Yes. No worries about last night. Life happens and I get it.
I know. I just, my mind is always 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, you and me both.
So I forget.
Everyone on our team, same.
Yeah.
Yes.
So every day it's just a completely different day and I forget everything.
I always say, I was like, oh, today I'm just going to take a break from doing everything. And then it never happens.
Yeah, same.
maybe, no, not tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow either.
Yeah, so...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Before we say our goodbyes, would you tell our viewers where we can find you? And I'll throw some links down in the description.
Yeah, for sure. So you can find us on YouTube at Crossroad X or Crossroad X Paranormal, whichever one you want to put in. We have TikTok as well, Crossroad X. We have Facebook, Crossroad X, and Instagram. So that's where you can find us.
Okay.
Check us out. Like every month we try to post at least one episode on our YouTube. So, and what you see is what you get with us.
All right.
But thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you. And if y'all don't have any other questions, guess I'm going to peace out then.
All right. You have a good night.
Thank you. Y'all too. Nice meeting all of y'all.
Bye.
Thank you so much. This was fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.